Greetings, and thank you for all the love and support, and welcome back to the channel, XRP holders. How about we jump straight into today's update and take a look at what's going on? You should be aware of the fact that it is becoming increasingly clear that we are getting closer and closer to the end of a Friday. You are aware that today was a fantastic day for the market as a whole, including the fact that XRP has increased by 5% over the past 24 hours, which I am certain no one is really taking issue with. However, let's take a more in-depth look and examine what is actually taking place. As this update is being recorded, the price is currently at $2.51, and the Bitcoin side of things has also seen a 3.7% increase. The valuation is estimated to be $150.5 billion, and the trading volume over the past 24 hours is approximately $4 billion. As is customary, I would want to make it clear that the content on this channel does not constitute financial advice. If you are considering investing in cryptocurrency, you should always conduct your own research and due diligence. Take a look at this, shall we? Since the low point on October 10th, when Trump proposed tariffs of 100% on China, the market capitalization of the S&P 500 has now increased by $2.5 trillion. Within the next 6 days, President Trump is scheduled to meet with the president of China, and stock prices are at all-time highs. As was said on the 10th of October, we expect that the following week would bring about a reduction in the Federal Reserve's interest rate as well as a settlement or postponement over tariffs imposed by China. As soon as the noise is removed, this market will become extremely profitable, and once more, you are aware of this. This is something that you have been putting a lot of emphasis on the channel, and if you've been paying attention, there is a very, very, very major week ahead of you. It is obvious that we will be lowering interest rates, and we will also be attending this conference. There is a lot to keep an eye out for, but let's continue with the fact that global M2 is exploding. According to Vivek, the price of Bitcoin is set to skyrocket, and you should also know that the money supply in M2 is actually at an all-time high. Since the beginning of this month, Bitcoin has not really experienced any kind of incredible price action of any kind. Perhaps the time has come for Bitcoin to start moving in a significant direction. Nevertheless, it is necessary for us to hunt for confirmations. You all are aware that I am a huge believer in the power of confirmations. As of right now, we are still in the 23.6, which is a really remarkable number. In addition, we are approaching the end of the 23.6. That would be just incredible to, head into this upcoming weekend, for the second day in a row. That would be incredibly great. But once again, there is more manipulation than usual on the weekends, and I noticed that futures are closed. However, the next week is going to be very crucial. On the other hand, this weekend might still be significantly significant for Bitcoin. Naturally, we will make sure that you guys are protected. If you have any thoughts, please share them with me in the comments section, but in the meantime, take a look at this. Despite a market drop that is estimated to be worth $19 billion, Bitcoin might still reach $200,000 in 2025. According to Jeff Kendrick, a fast recovery may be fueled by investor dip buying and a reduction in the Federal Reserve's interest rate. This is something that we have been putting a lot of emphasis on. Again, know that 19 billion, a lot of people need to understand that from a cryptocurrency standpoint, that was blatant market manipulation, because with the way things happen, it doesn't really happen off of tariff announcements like that. When it comes to cryptocurrencies, that was clear market manipulation. It is undeniable that there was some form of manipulation involved in that as well. Once more, I want you to know that the Federal Open Market Committee meeting is something that I am looking forward to very much. To tell you the truth, if you were to come to Cryptos DX and ask me, do you believe that the market has already priced itself in for the FOMC meeting? On my own, I do not believe so. Certainly not, in my view. At this point, the market has not been able to price itself in. As soon as Bitcoin begins to push up to the 170,000 to 120,000 mark, I believe that alts are going to begin sliding, and that is where I believe the market will kind of price itself into the meeting of the Federal Open Market Committee. That is a reflection of my own viewpoints. Please share your thoughts with me in the comments section, but before you do so, take a look at this introduction to Ripple Prime. We are thrilled to announce that our acquisition of Hidden Road has been officially finalized, making Ripple the first cryptocurrency firm to own and manage a global multi-asset prime broker. This will allow Ripple to bring the promise of digital assets to institutional customers on a scale that is enormous. When you truly put this into context and you delve deep into this, you really realize what Ripple has been doing from the very beginning, and you know how everything is coming together. Each and every one of these parts of the puzzle is beginning to fit together. You should listen to what Smoke has to say. As a result of the integration of Ripple, Hidden Road, and RLSD into the derivative markets, quadrillions of dollars might possibly be redirected into the RLSD side of things in terms of the stablecoin. One more time, the quadrillion is a very large figure, yet it is possible that billions more billions will come into the ecosystem itself and the XRP ledger, which I think a lot of people ignore. But if you've been paying attention to the XRP ledger and the massive development that is happening on the XRP ledger, I think you would be very impressed based off of how far things have come. And right now, with the tokenization element, how a lot of these major entities, big asset managers, pretty much the entire world, kind of understanding what the beauty of tokenizing, assets are, whether you're tokenizing real estate stocks, you are aware that we are already beginning to observe the tokenization of real estate through the utilization of the XRPL ledger. However, I believe that as of right now, we have not really seen that scale, what people expect, but it happens, slowly, but clearly it is not going to happen overnight. But you need to look at all of these enormous things that are happening. Take a look at what conversation says about the XRPL epic, because this is something that you absolutely, without a doubt, do not want to be neglecting. Please accept my apologies. The XRP real-world asset network software is now being developed by Apple. On the XRP ledger, there will be 1.5 billion devices that will have direct access to RWA accounts. Returning to what I indicated earlier, there are significant advancements taking place on the XRP ledger. As for me, I believe that this is just the very beginning. Inflation in the United States was found to be 3% lower than anticipated. You should be aware that it is a positive sign anytime it is lower than what was anticipated. In addition, I believe that the regular stock market responded favorably to that as well. As of today, both the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq reached fresh all-time highs. Although Bitcoin is still falling behind, is it the right time for cryptocurrency to shine? Due to the fact that the stock market is climbing back to all-time highs, yet cryptocurrency is still not even close to reaching that level. Are we going to see a surge in the value of cryptocurrency in the days that are still to come? Once more, when you kind of relate it to the stock market, it is quite interesting. Not only should you share your personal ideas with me in the comments section, but you should also have a look at what Brad Grillenhouse has to say. On the other hand, Ripple Prime and Hidden Road both came to an end today. Wow! It is now known as Ripple Prime, as they have altered it. Over the course of 2 years, Ripple has announced 5 significant acquisitions. Last week, G Treasury, Rail in August, Standard Custody in 2024, and Medico in 2023 were all acquired by the company. At the same time that we are working on developing solutions that will enable an internet of value, I would want to remind you all that XRP is at the core of everything that Ripple does lock in. Permit that to sink in. Quite literally, he has just revealed a massive bombshell. He is adding, I am reminding you that with all of these developments and everything that is going on, XRP, the native token, is at the center of whatever Ripple does as a result of all of these developments. Huge amounts of material here. Leave a comment below and tell me what you think about this thing. As you can see for yourself, however, the dominance currently stands at 59.83%.